Hello again, everybody. I am Jeff Opens Cards, but today I'm not opening anything, and I'm not even talking about Splinterlands. I am talking about one of the newest games on HIVE that has quickly become the talk of the blockchain, Golem Overlord. This is from Yixen, who is the developer of Splex as well, which, for those that play Splinterlands, that may mean something to you. I go do my best to keep this short and sweet, basically a basic beginner's introduction to what the game is. I have the intention of not talking about financials, ROI, that kind of thing, other than what is completely necessary. I want this viewed more as a game and not as an investment vehicle. You can do your own research and make your own calls with regards to that. But that is not my goal of this, because in short, some may view this kind of game perhaps correctly as Ponzi-nomics, where basically things could implode at any given moment, at least financially speaking, which is why I want to view this first and foremost as a game. And if you want to look at the financials and the possibilities there, that is up to you to do your own research and make your own conclusions. I'm not giving financial advice or encouraging you to throw a big wad of money at this. I will give some recommendations, suggestions based on certain things, but just want to throw that out there right out the bat. So, and I will also say right away, well, if you use my referral link, which I'll probably have below, I will get 2 swap HIVE. You don't have to use my referral link if you don't want to. I know Bronze Dragon and Gather the Magic has done videos on this as well. After Someone started doing videos, if you want to use their referral link instead, that is totally fine. I don't want you to think I'm trying to make you play this just for my own financial gain or anything like that. So feel free to join because of my video or because you learned from me. I don't need to gain a financial gain from you. Join. I don't. It doesn't matter. So, just getting all that out of the way. So, anyways, what is Golem Overlord? Well, in short, it is an idle miner, an idle clicker, passive game, however you want to phrase it, all those work. So in this, the future could be very much more expensive than it currently is, but even so, the updates have been like a whirlwind thus far. This game is only about 2 weeks old. Just to give you a visual here, here are the peak depots from Golem Overlord. So you can see here, 18 days ago, April 3rd, announce the alpha version of the game. 16 days ago, title system and all that. 15 days ago, mobile friendly. 14 days ago, launches to great success. So I believe that was the first actual launch day, which makes sense. My spreadsheet for my entry point was April 7th, which I think was the first day the game was actually live. So the game is 2 weeks old. 2 weeks. Keep that in mind. Next development goals, improving user experience and improving on functionality. Within the first 2 days, they surpassed 1,500 Golemancers. So you can see that chart. We'll show you newer charts as well in a sec. Well, let me show you right away. Currently, it looks like this. 6,651 Golemancers after 2 weeks. You can see the production is ramping up as well. Some of this will mean anything to you. Won't mean a lot to you yet. I realize we've been all over the place. I'm just trying to throw not too much at you, but just give you a basic understanding so it's not completely foreign language, but, you know, they've had constant events in-game, game balance updates 10 days ago. New feature, dynamic claim cooldowns are here 10 days ago. Another event, revamped scavenging calculations 9 days ago. I don't have to go through it all, but like, there's been a lot of updates pretty much every day. Side note though, Yixen, the developer, he will be unavailable away for the weekend, so there should be a pause on updates for a few days anyway. Let us all catch our breath from this whirlwind of updates, which has been nonstop. It's been crazy. Taking a lot of player feedback in their Discord, basically seeing what the players want the most, the soonest, and then prioritizing that and getting it out sometimes in a matter of hours. It's been kind of ridiculous. So basically, if you're looking for a fast-paced game that is ever-changing, for better or for worse, as it's very hard to strategize since things change so quickly, but the chaos is also very fun. So while there are financial possibilities within the game as well that could be very short-lived, I have no idea. The game itself is a very fun whirlwind and very chaotic right now. So that is my basis right now. So anyways, if you decide to start playing, the cost to create an account to get to your Golemancers staff is 30 swap HIVE. It was 20, but then, like, show this chart again. I believe it was on this day where there was 1,312 new players. I think somewhere within these 2 days is when they upped it from 20 to 30 to start an account, just because it was ramped up so fast. And with that, I will note that multi-accounting is allowed, botting is not. You can have as many accounts as you want as long as you're manually playing them. I've got 15. I had 5 of those 2 weeks ago. And then because of this game, I created 10 more HIVE accounts. That's how much I'm enjoying it so far. But anyways, so you get a Gold Master staff, and then what happens? Well, when you first buy your staff and you get to a screen like this, down here, this is how much part you have. When you start the game, you will have 3 part. That is the primary token of the game. You can claim your part every 8 hours. Never mind other possibilities you can upgrade to later. But when you start the game, you'll have 3 part, and you can claim every 8 hours. When you first start, new players have 1 hour of protection in which other players cannot attack you. So one option you could have is you make your account and you start playing, but you wait close to an hour to actually claim. Because I want to say your max stash, this is the most you can carry. I want to say that's like 4 when you start. And your generation parts per hour, I believe, is 0.22. So if you wait close to an hour while claiming before others can attack you, very important, because you will get attacked if you wait over an hour. I guarantee it. You can get about 3.2 part if you wait to claim, but that should make a huge difference. But basically, you're going to want to make sure you claim in less than an hour, for sure. So basically, again, 30 soft HIVE to start, and you'll get 3 part pretty much guaranteed to start, unless you do something silly, ill-advised, whatever. I probably would recommend you don't try attacking anybody right away. Just take your 3 part and run to live to fight another day kind of thing. So you can see here, this account, this is actually my lowest level account right now as far as my stats are concerned. This could end up being more in depth than I intended, but oh well. So you can see here, my algorithm is 5, power 4, fortification 6, 3 golem charging station, 5 faith, which I'm sure means nothing to most of you. Totally fine. So it's reputation and levels. But one thing at a time. If I were to start a new account right now, first thing I do upon claiming my 3 part is I'm upgrading my fortification. If you don't upgrade your fortification, you will get attacked, your part will be stolen, and you will rarely, well, you'll never be able to claim like any part. Case in point, if I go to the battle screen here, which you can actually filter, so this is fortification. If I want to see just players with 1 fortification, so this would be a max of 1, and I search, I can then sort the claimable stash. Now this doesn't update in real time. You can see some of these already have just a fraction because either they've been attacked or they just claimed or something. You can see here, one person has 0.64. That is the most anybody in the game has for a claimable stash right now that has a fortification of 1. But you can carry 4, which means anytime you get over 0.5, 0.6-ish, someone is going to attack you and steal your part. It is going to happen. I promise you. That is why it's very important you upgrade your fort, your fortification. Not financial advice, but if you want to be able to claim part without having to rely on attacking others, which is an option, you need to upgrade your fort. If you have a fort of 2, doesn't get a whole lot better. Now you've got like 0.85 to 0.9 range. It gets a lot juicier at fort of 3. At fort of 3, claimable stash, go to the bottom of the first page, 3 point... Milo just stepped on the keyboard. Thank you, Milo. And knocked my empty can down. Back arrow? Okay. Good job, Milo. Where was I? How about you sit on my lap instead of... He loves to step on the keyboard, and it causes issues a lot. Oh yeah, we were showing you guys fortification. My screen changed entirely, so I concentrated on thought. So, if you have a fortification of 3, claimable stash, goes as high as 4. The bottom of page 1, 3.67. So if you get a fortification of 3, there's always exceptions, but you shouldn't be attacked much, if at all, unless you're carrying more than 3 part. Which means if you have a fortification of 3 and nothing else, you should be able to claim around 3 part every 8 hours. So let's go to our spreadsheet, shall we? I love spreadsheets. Boom. Feel free to screenshot this wherever you want. Not financial advice. If I am making a new account, this is the path that I am taking with the information I currently have. Always subject to change because there's always different events and different changes in the game. So this could be very different, within 24 hours of Yixen getting back to coding. Who knows? But anyways, you can see here, let me actually make that open properly here. So you start with 1s across the board. I'm ignoring reputation and level for this exercise. The cost upgrade to a fort of 2 would cost you 1 part. That is a total cost of 1 part. To go from fort of 2 to a fort of 3, it would cost you 3 part. Cumulative total cost of 4 part. Now remember I said that when you start playing, you're basically handed 3 part, which is not enough to go to fort of 3. So if you want to get a very small yet significant head start, if it were me, I would buy at least 1 part from the marketplace so I can go to fort 3 as soon as possible. As soon as possible. Basically, I would make my account. I would claim my 3 part. I would upgrade to a fort of 2. And then I would buy 1 part and upgrade to a fort of 3. That I would do that at minimum. If you're paying 30 swap hive to start playing the game, I feel like you might as well spend the 2 hive for the 1 extra part, because your production is going to be way higher because you will not have all of your parts stolen then, which is kind of important in my opinion. So just to explain the columns I have here, so you can kind of pause and look at your leisure if you wish. Hourly production here, this is also just changed, especially further down, because there's different bonuses based on where you are in the game compared to others. So you can see here on my JWizzle account, I'm getting 0.6 per hour, which has a 100 and... I can't even read that. Let me go back to the actual screen. 122% boost based on how many people in the game I'm above, above average I am. So basically there's a base rate as well. So basically if I don't upgrade anything, when I log in tomorrow, this could be 0.84 and whatever that multiplies to. It goes down every so often while you're not upgrading. And then if I were to upgrade my algorithm or my golem charging station, that increases my production. That would jump it up and then would kind of slow down until I upgrade something and then it would come down. Then upgrade something, it would come down. That sort of thing. Hope that makes sense. But yeah. Basically, the number one thing I tell people when I see people struggling or seeing I keep getting raided, I can't claim any part, what do? What I always tell everybody right now, get your fort to 3 ASAP. Don't worry about your algorithm, your golem charging station, don't worry about your power, your faith, nothing. Get your fort to 3 first and foremost. Now, financial advice, it's financial advice because you're going to have a lot more fun if your fort's at 3 and you're not getting everything stolen from you constantly, in my opinion. So anyways, the hourly production here, this is based on the algo and golem charging stations. The hourly cap here, that goes kind of off of what I was showing you in the battle screen, where I was showing you, for instance, at a fort of 3, the first page goes to 3.5. I have, let's see, how do I do this? Let's go like this. Whee! So kind of expand this here. So if you look down here, this is kind of always changed a little bit, but this is the fortification level. Safe limit. Basically, ballpark. So on that battle screen, if I put a fort of 3 as the max and then sort by claimable stash, what I put here is generally about what I see at the bottom of page 1. That's where I feel like you're fairly safe. So if you have a fortification of 3, I feel like your safe limit to carry without being attacked is 3.2 part, which means you could have an hourly production cap of 0.4 without surpassing that. So basically, up here, if your hourly cap is greater than your hourly production, that means if you are claiming every 8 hours as soon as possible, it's reasonable to expect that you should not be attacked much, if at all, because you shouldn't get in that threshold where you are a juicy target. There should be people that are more juicy than you at comparable stat levels. Hopefully that makes sense. And I'm laughing internally because I said this would be a short video and I'm already 15 minutes in and feel like I'm not near the end. But to not overload, I'm going to try to kind of start wrapping up here, I guess. Just because there's a lot you can analyze here at your own leisure. And these are also ballparks to Algo and Golem charging station levels. These aren't all up to date. Like my accounts aren't all at all these levels anymore, so I can't update them reliably. But so take these with a grain of salt. Especially some of these down here might be more or less. It's hard to say. They will trend down steadily over time. The base rate here, though, like if I had hourly rate and I divided by whatever the percent bonus was, that's what I got. So that should be the floor. So if you have an algorithm of level 5 and a Golem charging station level 3, your hourly right now is probably about 0.86. If you end up with no bonus, it should be 0.7. Again, subject to different game updates. The game is an alpha. Everything's subject to change. Keep that in mind with any decisions you may make. So, kind of wrapping up, I think. If you choose to start playing, it's again 30 swap hive to get your staff to start playing, and then with that, I would recommend you buy one part in the marketplace, just so you can get your fort to 3 as soon as you do your first claim. Because when you claim, you'll get 3 part. You buy 1 part. Well, then you've got the total cost to get to a fort of 3. And with that, you should generate 5.28 part per day. That is... Actually, that's not... Wait, yeah. 24 equals 24 times 0.22. Yeah, okay. That checks out. Oh, yeah. You can't see it on the screen, but I can... This one, it multiplies out. So, yeah. The daily part, this is all just the early production times 24. So this assumes you don't get raided, don't have anything stolen from you, and you don't even attack and steal from any other players. So it's a reasonable baseline. If you successfully attack other players, you might get a little extra. If there's an outlier and someone attacks you, even though it's just your targets, you would obviously get less if you don't manage to get it back from someone else by attacking them. But so just hypothetically here, you do what I said, you get your staff. I'm not telling you to get staff. I'm saying if you buy a staff and you do what I say and get in the 1 extra part, you have a fort of 3 upon doing your first claim like a minute into playing the game. You should then get 5.28 part daily. We'll just round that down and say it's 1.5 per 8-hour claim, which means, so 8 hours later, you'd have 1.5 part. Well, then my next recommendation is you upgrade Faith. This will also help your defensive prowess, just FYI. And then you have half a part left. 8 hours later, you get another 1.5. So you'd be at 2 part in the hand. Well, then you could upgrade your Algo and your GCS. Because you would have 2 part to do that, and they'd be 1 part each. So that means 16 hours and a few minutes after you start playing, you would have these stats, 21322. You'd be at 0.36 per hour and be getting 8.64 parts per day. Nearly 3 part per 8-hour claim. And then, so then 16 hours later, 2 claims later, you would have another 6 part, roughly, and be able to upgrade your fort to 4. And then another claim-ish later, you could go to Algo 3, and so on and so forth. And you can see your daily part would keep going up as well. The upgrade cost would start going up as well. Basically, I feel like this is a very nice place to try to get to ASAP. It seems like the cost in terms of part for the production you get is very, very good. To get to this point, it would cost you a total of 27 part, 3 of which you start the game with. And then you would get 17.76 part per day. Your hourly cap, as in your defensive prowess, is higher than your production, not by a lot. So you might still get hit here or there, but shouldn't be too bad. But basically, if you wanted to expedite things out the gate, you could buy your staff and buy 24 part. Because again, you start with 3 by default. And right now, part is about 2 hive. So 24 would be, we'll call it 50. That'd be a total investment of 80 swap hive. If you want to expedite things. If. Do your own research before you throw too much at it, though. But if you do that, you should generate 17.76 part per day, which seems pretty good. Again, however, the price of part could tank at any moment. You don't know. I feel like it's got to have a decent setback sooner or later, but there's no telling. Yeah, right now, again, the count in the background that you see back here, this is my lowest level account, 54635. So 54635. So I'm at this line. This is my worst account right now. And if you're wondering why I have this one red, once you hit 100 part burned, then you start having reductions in what you can get from people when you attack them. So one thing I'm doing with multiple accounts right now of mine, I have several accounts at 96, between 96 and 99 burn, so I don't have that negative effect yet. But before I say too much more, I wish I pointed this out sooner, but I didn't. One major key thing of this game is that you basically have to burn 75% of the part you claim, or you will have a lot less part to claim. So you can see right here, here on the JWizzle account, prime example right now, percent use, 75%. That is the bare minimum I can have while not having a reduction to what I can claim. So as soon as I'm able to claim again, if I don't burn any part, I will have less than 75% used, and then my claimable amount would actually be 70-some% as well. Which means if I were to claim 10, I would only keep about 7. And if you get too low, it gets down to, I think, like 10% or 0 or something bad. Basically, if you want to be maximizing and playing for more than a couple of days, you're going to need to keep your burn rate over 75%. That is key. So once they announced that, like, the value of part was trying to come down, and then Yixin made that development update, whatever you want to call it, and it recovered real fast. So let's see. So there's a couple of, like, a fracture part that traded a really weird rate very early, which skewed this chart. The hourly, though, it just dropped off recently, so it's readable. So you can see here, part did get down as low as 0.31 on April 10th, which was 3 days after the game started. But then somewhere within here was the update, upgrade, whatever you want to say, to the 75% burn or get penalized. And then part ran to 2 and it stayed pretty consistent right around 2 for a week and a half. About a week. Looks like it basically, what we'll say right in here, it hit and sustained 2. So April 15th. It's currently April 21st. Going on the 22nd. So 6 to 7 days it is held steadily at 2. Which I am still kind of flabbergasted at. Because the game this was inspired by, TerraCore, they have the shard. Nope, that's also this game. They have the scrap token. So this is for TerraCore. So their game launched. It got to 2 part right away, and then it went basically straight down to a quarter part, and has been between 0.1 and 0.25 since for like a month. So I saw this chart, and I assumed that this game would do the same thing. But that game doesn't have a 75% burn requirement. Golem Overlord does. And you can see what's happened to it on the chart here. And furthermore, if you still think this is like a flash in the pan game, which it still could be, I want to believe it is not, And there's still many more updates that can still come, which I'm trying to get too in depth with what I'm spewing to you, because this is already 25 minutes. Oh my gosh, that was gonna be it most of my video. Here's 24-hour volume. Part is number 2. It's about 3 times the volume on Hive Engine of what SPS is right now, and it's closing on DEC. It's possible within another couple of days that part is the number 1 dollar traded token for the last 24 hours on Hive Engine, and the game is 2 weeks old. It's kind of crazy. And the other token, which I haven't really said anything about, is the Shard token, which you have a percent chance of getting that each time you claim. Basically, when you start playing, your daily average is like 100%. So RNG, you might get 3 one day, 0 the next. You should average 1 shard token per day. So if you want to do your own calculations of ROI or anything like that, and you want to make it more financial, that's up to you. But if you do so, you can assume on average that you will get 1 shard per day as well. And you are not required to burn 75% of shard, at least not at this time. Subject to change, of course. But that's basically something you can choose to strictly sell anytime you get it, to try to recover your investment if that is your goal. That's up to you. But again, I'm trying to take the fun approach to this and focus on that and not what is or could be tokenomics and token value-wise. Because like I said, it could implode at any point. It's possible if you see this video a day or a week from now, maybe part has gone from 2 down to 0.2. It's possible. Maybe another update happened and a big surge of players came in. Maybe it's at 4 Hive now. Who knows? Who knows? But I think I've said more than enough in this video. If you want more information about the game, please let me know. Just you can see in the comments, like, I would love to learn more about this game or hear more in-depth, whatever. If you have specific questions, feel free to drop in the comments below. Otherwise, also you can join the Discord for Splex, which the Discord for Golem Overlord is within the Splex Discord. Very active, very fun Discord in there, and plenty of people that can answer any questions you may have in there as well. Yeah, it's been a wild 2 weeks. My sleep schedule's been a little wonky as a result, but it gives me reason to not lay in bed for extended periods of time in the morning as well, which is a benefit as well, because sometimes I just lay in bed for way too long. So now it's like, oh, it's 9:05. I can't claim in 10 minutes. I gotta get to my computer. I also stay up late to do my claim before I go to bed, but I'll take a nap one of these days and also get all my accounts on the same schedule, which I accidentally forgot to claim one of them earlier. So like I'm letting it get basically to its max before I claim it. Hopefully, if you're seeing this before I claim, please don't steal from me. But yeah, I have 11 accounts like on the same schedule, and then 4 were outliers that were like an hour and 5 minutes off. This one should be equaled out by morning, and then the other 3 I'll have to do the same with soon. I'll probably do that in a day or 2 because I have to get up earlier on Mondays anyway. So I'm rambling now. Yeah, there's so much more I could cover that I can cover. I might also do some peak D posts. I did one before this video actually. Just mentioning that they have broken 500,000 part burned, which was 90% at the time, and the charts of their volume and stuff like that. But yeah, if you want more information, let me know. And otherwise, earlier, as I mentioned, I believe, well, I know there's also been content videos produced so far by Aftersound, Gather the Magic, and Bronze Dragon. I'm sure there's others as well. Those are the ones I'm aware of off the top of my head. So if you want as much Golem Overlord content as possible, those are the people that, at least on YouTube, I know for sure have done a non-zero amount of videos at this point. So I thank you all for watching. Subscribe and rock smash the like button. Again, no pressure to use my referral link. It'll be down below. If you want to use somebody else's or nobody's, that's totally fine. No skin off my back. Again, make sure that if you start playing, it's because you want to, not because you think I'm telling you to. It's not what I want to do. And while I could go over like ROI calculations and all that kind of stuff, I'm trying to avoid that, at least in this introductory video. If a lot of you are just really, really into that kind of thing, I have spreadsheets for all that stuff because I'm very numbers and analytically driven, and helps me decide what to upgrade next and stuff as well. But that would be a whole different conceptual video if I go that route as well. So just let me know what you want to see, if anything, or if you just like, hey, Jeff, just stick to the Splinterlands and Splinterlands Jason stuff. I don't want this other stuff. Let me know that as well. Always open to your recommendations, suggestions, criticisms, constructive criticisms, and all that jazz. But wow, this is a 30-minute video. I thought it'd be 10. Oops.